Bunga.
Hello. Hi. Hello.
Hi, 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 hi. Thank you for joining. We are glad that you're here with us today. We are the Collins. I'm here with my beautiful wife, Shifra Musumba, and our
Jewel
baby,
Zumba.
Jewel Musumba. We are glad that you've joined us today.
Yes.
I don't know if you've ever had. You want to speak? We don't know whether you've had a time in your life where you were planning to do something that is of much weight in your life, but got discouragements from all corners. Have you?
Of course, there are very many instances. It could be a business, it could be
Maybe you're starting off a business,
yeah,
or
it could
probably
be
you are planning to
go back
add
to
your
school.
education,
Yeah.
and you got a lot of discouragement. For us,
It was our wedding.
it was our wedding. We got a lot of I can't sensitize that more, much more. We got a lot of discouragements. Emphasize, yeah, the word disappeared. I can't emphasize that more. We You want to tell them something? Say emphasize, baby. So for us, the discouragements we got was during, and that's what we want to share today. Thank you so much for deciding to join us here today.
Yeah.
Make sure you click that like button and tell us where you're watching from.
Yes.
So we are going to be waiting for just two more people to join us, and we'll be kicking it off. Otherwise, we hope you had a wonderful weekend. I want.
I wonder how their day was. Today was a very cold day where we are. So you guys can tell us what your day was like in the comments as well.
Our son is so happy to be here today.
He enjoyed seeing himself.
So,
All right, Jimmy, we are doing something, but we need you to be quiet, okay?
so thank you so much for tuning in. I don't know where we start this topic from, because the topic is challenges we faced while planning for our wedding. I think one of the major challenges, and this may be the one that applies to most youths, is finances. And when we talk about finances, on my end, one, when it came to dowry, I heard about the dowry, and I told my dad and the friends of mine who brought me to your place. I told them, I think we are going to marry this girl 3 years from now.
It was that serious, right?
It was that serious, my friend. So, finances, I got challenges when I was looking for dowry, and also, planning and running a successful wedding. You can't do it minus talking about finances.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Everything in a wedding is
Everything involves money. Definitely. Everything involves money. What are the challenges you faced?
My biggest challenge was the time I had to move from Uganda to Kenya, like I don't know how many, 7 times in a week. I think I was sleeping and waking up on the road, like the time we had to make the trip to the Sharia house in Nairobi.
Of course. It seems this side of ours, Harriet, thank you for joining. Harriet is saying, tuned in from Nakuru.
Welcome.
We are happy that you're here. Yeah. So, if you want to get married to a Kenyan and you're a foreigner, hello, baby. Today, the baby also wants to talk. So, I was saying, of course, for us to get married, we were told that one of the things we need to get is a license
Yes.
for the wedding to take place.
Me, that is the time I was hearing things like that. You know, back home when it is marriage and you have to present yourself and your partner, and the best they can do is check whether you're HIV positive or check for pregnancy, so that they do not join you when you've already joined yourselves. So that was the best prerequisite I expected.
Of course, I think under normal circumstances, getting a wedding license is not something hard.
I had even never heard of a license.
But for our end, from our end here, considering that we're Ugandan, the prerequisites that they wanted for us to get that license was not clear. We went the first time, then they gave us the list of what they wanted.
They wanted. Oh my God.
Then you went back to Uganda, came with what they asked for. You came, they said, you have forgotten this one.
You don't have this one. You don't have this one, and they had not ticked them before. Like they had given us a notice of what they wanted and ticked them, highlighted them. And then this time I'm going to the house. They're telling me, no, you do not have everything that you are supposed to be having.
And I think that was also quite costly for us.
Very costly, because you can consider me coming from here to back to Uganda, and then coming back, and of course not going back to Kampala where I was. I had to get my birth certificate from home. Then Dad is always on the road, trying to get the one now for the municipality, because I mean, a birth certificate in Uganda, when you get one from the hospital. So the one they wanted was actually from NIRA. I had never heard of something.
But I think also Uganda is just confused somehow.
No, don't say that Uganda is confused.
Your documents are not straightforward. How do you have, I don't know, 2 birth certificates? I don't know, one from the hospital.
Yes, we have them, because we have. It is not for everybody that they have ever gone to Kampala or something.
We are Lilamba Sukari ama ni nini?
I don't know what is the problem.
It's too active.
Wants to touch
So one of the challenges we faced was that one, looking for that license, And there's a lady there that we even never wanted to see her face, because she was the one you could come. She tells you didn't pick this. You come the other day, go back and pick this. And of course, every of this single trip was not just from Nairobi to Nakuru, but from Nairobi to Uganda. And and whatever they were asking for required you to have money for you to have it.
Like you can imagine, I had to process a passport in less than 4 days.
Talk about it.
I had to get that birth certificate,
but
in the same period. And like this is a time somebody is telling you, you have forgotten this, you have forgotten this, and you go the next time she tells you, I think there was something else we forgot to and you're like, honestly, oh, do I look to you like Sudil's daughter? In Uganda we have the richest man called
this
Sudil.
was going to mess up this connection.
So I would be like, what is the problem? What is so hard in telling me, okay, this is the list of things you need to have, go come with it.
So that is one of the challenges. Now, 2, we had planned our wedding to be on May 5th.
Yes.
What happened that we changed it to 26th?
Exactly what Sharia House was doing for us. Because Sharia House couldn't give us a license that time. And they said it had to take 21 days before it is activated for you to have your wedding. So the time we actually went there, because we were doing trips of them, telling us we want this, then they give you another item. Like we wasted time over there. So it forced us, for the 21 days to have elapsed, it forced us to, postpone. And of course that came with a cost, because some of our bridal team fell out because of the change of date. Yes.
But then now it makes sense. Now it makes sense why that had to happen. One of the other challenges we faced, of course, now we have already, God blessed us, we got to pay the dowry. And now we got done with the functions that side. And now we had already talked to a few people, because we needed to have a wedding. How do you call those people who bridal team?
Yeah, the entrance.
Kizungu inaweza amua
Yeah.
kutoroka saa ingine. I can see Debbie is here. Debbie is saying
Welcome,
she has
welcome.
waved. Welcome, welcome. We're glad that you're here. So choosing the bridal team, of course, we didn't want just to choose people because they are willing to buy suits and
Yeah, and just wear, and we wanted people that would create the memories with us, people that knew what we are.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And we were choosing, the basis of us choosing was choosing our friends. And by the way, how come you only chose
Two
two
from
people?
Uganda.
And of the people you chose, only one participated.
Of course, it's not like I really had a choice to make. Kenya, being the fact that I was getting married in a different country, I had to come to reality that most of my friends won't make it. Why? Because one, they had just completed school, because I had just completed school. So most of my friends had just completed school as well. They were not financially stable. And some of them actually couldn't come because some of them had never processed their IDs or stuff like that. So it was hard for them to say that they are going to come over for my wedding at that time, you know. Yeah.
I'm smiling because I've seen Harriet's comment. Harriet is saying, I never knew the reason for the postponement. Poleni kwa kuzungushwa haki. Tulizungushwa, my friend. Tulizungushwa kweli kweli. I can see the other people who have joined. Welcome. We are talking about the challenges that we faced while we were planning for our wedding. We have already highlighted some. And one other challenge we faced was, now we have already chosen the bridal team, or the yes,
bridal team.
and now by the time we were choosing the bridal team, had we already decided on what we wanted to put on?
Yes, of course we had, because that was one of the things that would have led us to doing that. So we decide on what to wear, and we decide, now the people are here, why not sell out the idea? And if there are some adjustments to be made, for some, of course, the inevitable adjustments, we would make them.
But then, talking about clothes, I think it is easier to deal with men than ladies. I think for my side, it was very easy,
I tell you, I think it was meant to be easy on my side as well, considering the time and the notice that we gave, So it was meant to be easy, but it turned out the other way.
Of course, we didn't want to have a stressful time planning for the wedding, so we decided to do things a bit earlier.
Yeah.
I talked to my friends that I thought would be good for my team, and apparently all of them were positive about it.
Yes.
And after deciding on the clothes we decided not to put on a complete suit, the one blue,
and I don't know, white or something like that. We wanted something different and something unique, a different touch of what people have done on weddings.
So when I shared the design with the men, they liked it. And we decided that since, were we 8?
Yes, they were 8.
Yeah, we had eight gentlemen. So we decided, now we want to tell everyone, among the members that we had, the 8 of us, each of us should go and look for a person who can be able to deliver this design to us. Because one of the things we wanted to avoid is dealing with mafundis. I don't know if you have dealt with Kenyan tailors. Probably the Ugandans are good, but Kenyan tailors is a no-no.
Even Ugandan tailors are the worst, my friend. I think I got the test of them, the bitter test of them that time.
Because unaweza ngojea nguo mpaka hiyo asubuhi ya harusi.
And then they are telling you, ngojea kidogo,
wacha tunapiga pasi kwa kola. So for us, we decided we don't want to go the direction of fundi, at least for the men.
My friend.
So after deciding on the design, actually the gentlemen came back with news in time. Everyone had gotten a different dealer, and of the different dealers that that were brought to us, we sat down and said, Uyu is saying this amount, Uyu is saying this amount, and this material is better than this one is a bit lower. And we settled on one. And then we picked one gentleman and told him, you're the one going to help us in terms of talking to this particular seller until the time it will be able to be delivered. I can see Gift has joined us. Gift was one of our groomsmen. He's saying the groomman wear was very nice, actually very unique. Thank you. So, and I remember that gentleman was Bruno, and I'm very grateful that what's up, baby? And I remember the gentleman who was helping us in terms of contacting the dealer and making sure that we have everything in time was Bruno, and we are very glad that he was very instrumental in that line. So, so Bruno was the one dealing with the gentleman, and now this is the issue that we got. The gentlemen have paid in time, actually in good time.
They've been saying that the Ugandan tailors may be worse than those in Kenya. For sure. That time they really ambushed us. Like they hit us by our neck.
So the gentlemen paid their money in time, actually 2 months before. And Bruno had already gotten a good dealer who could serve us with what we wanted. Say hello, baby. Say hello.
He's saying salsa.
I think we should just create a live for him. Now, the issues that we got with men, okay, on my side with men was one, some men didn't know their sizes. The sizes they gave you before order and the time that the suits are coming in are totally different. The other challenge we face is the first dealer that we got. I think you need to get him something. Coco Melon would work very well for him. The other challenge that we got was now the first dealer that we got, after receiving money, the gentleman, when it came to the time of picking, oh baby, when it came to the time of picking the suits, the gentleman says, I forgot. All those suits were here, but I got another buyer and I sold them off.
Honestly, like really? So, after all these commitments we showed?
And now it was about a month to the wedding. A month and a week probably. So we had to go back to the drawing board and find, can we get another person who can give us the same kind of design with the same number of pieces that we want. But apparently, we were not able to get the same design, but we got a little bit of close to that shade with another seller, and we settled for that one. And finally, at least our clothes came, and they came in time. I think it was 3 weeks to 3 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks to the wedding. Anyway, even if we push it to 2 weeks, our clothes were here 2 weeks to the wedding.
My friend, on my side, the ladies were very, of course, we have different tests. Now, my biggest challenge was ladies who really did not want to have off shoulder, because my design, the chosen design was to be an off shoulder dress, and I had already decided or settled on the color of the off shoulder. And then some are telling me, oh, this off shoulder is too low. Can we have it come up? Like, you cannot make an off shoulder a full neck, honestly. But most of them were very, very cooperative. Now, the biggest issue was on now the expenses, on how much they would cost, because they needed a dress, they also needed a shoe. And then, of course, there were, I don't know why this is confusing me. Can I just reduce it?
It's okay.
Yeah, because I can't concentrate with it.
It's okay.
Being at that volume. So, okay, I have accepted. There you go. But you can now see.
I can see Rachel Masika is saying, mlikuwa mmelipa hizo suti ziliuzwa. Yes, suti ambazo tulilipia ziliuzwa. Why does this name seem to be Ugandan? Rachel Masika. Anyway, welcome, Rachel. We are glad that you're here. So she was telling you about the side of the ladies. So you had decided on the design. It was to be an off-shoulder. And after looking at the prices, you all decided that you're going to make the clothes from Uganda because it was going to be.
Okay, again, we are praying and will not be here for that long. So stick with us and come back. Those that had just gone away, you're welcome to join us again. And those that are joining us for the first time, we were in the middle of a talk, or somewhere there in the middle of a talk, about the challenges that we faced during our wedding planning.
Thank you to all those who have been patient. Slowly by slowly, we'll upgrade our systems where we will not face these challenges again. But we are glad that we are back, and we want to continue talking about the challenges that we faced while planning for our wedding. We've talked about finances, which is the main thing. We've talked about getting the license, the wedding license here in Kenya. We've talked about
we were on the point of dressing
and most especially on the side of the ladies. Yes.
Now, when we decided that finally this is the design that we're taking off shoulder, burgundy, that was the color. We sourced for materials or the cloth that we are going to wear, and obviously it was cheaper in Uganda. I don't know why, but it was cheaper in Uganda, and considering the fact that we were going to make it by a tailor, we had to hasten our feet in making the payments and stuff like that. Of course, ladies came through and they started giving in their contributions, and we actually settled on, I had to change the tailor that had made for me my clothes and get a cheaper option of a tailor. Of course, now with a person that you've not worked with before, you just work by faith. And my friend, it did not go well. This gentleman that was working on our dresses, of course, you can imagine, I was not there. I was not there in Uganda. So it is a friend of ours, Elizabeth, and I really don't take it for granted that she did it, because she had to go through the struggle I would have gone through to make sure that those dresses are made. However much they were not to the best, because honestly, he did a very shoddy job. He did things in
what was the problem? He didn't get the right sizes?
Sizes were given to him. Of course, some ladies did not know their sizes quite well, but the sizes were given nevertheless. And then he did not follow them. Like, he made things for extra large people, and it was just a mess. Like, he made it feel like as though we had given him, he was giving us an offer, like we were not paying him, because the only thing he had to do was make the dresses. If he has signed up for the job, just make them. We had the material provided for him, and he just had to make them. And my God.
I think if everything was to go in plan, how soon were your dresses supposed to arrive?
2 months. 2 months prior.
Really?
Yes.
Did you ladies,
Of course, we did not make it to the payments then, but for the payments that the ladies had done, material had already been bought. Material had already been bought for all the ladies. So it was a matter of him making the dresses and retaining those for those who have not yet paid.
Now, what I remember, which is now where I also got into this confusion of the ladies, is now about picking the dresses.
Yes.
Remember?
The dresses are now already made. Of course, now this is now last minute. He made us get to the last minute point.
Because this is now a week to
the wedding, and we do not have our dresses. The dresses are supposed to come from Kenya. The dresses are coming together with the shoes
from Uganda to Kenya. Yeah.
My friend, I remember calling Elizabeth.
I can see somebody saying Today I'm late. This is Faith
Welcome.
Musi. Welcome, you're not late. We still
Yes.
have much in store. Welcome, welcome.
So Beth decides to I call Beth and tell her go check on the dresses, and if possible just put them on the bus today, and we will send the money for the parcel.
So that was on
That was on a Monday.
on a Monday. This
Yes.
is Monday and our wedding is on
And of course,
Sunday.
she had gone there the previous week, and they had told her to go back on Monday.
Mhm.
So on Monday, the lady goes back, Beth goes back, and the tailor tells her, no, you come back tomorrow. The same thing happens when she goes back the following day. Tailor tells her, I have not yet finalized. Oh, I don't know. I got sick in the middle of the night. I could not finish up the work. It was a lot of excuses.
So I think finally the dresses got done on
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesday.
And now they were packed
All right.
and taken to the bus station for the parcel to be transported to this side. So I remember you asked me to go on Thursday because, of course, if they place the parcel in Uganda on Wednesday night, 12 hours by morning of Thursday, we expect that the parcel would be here. So she sent me on Thursday morning to go and check on the parcel. Going to the bus that they sent through, those people told me we have not seen anything like
No
this.
package
There's
like
no
that
package
has
like that.
come to our bus stop.
Yes. So they tell me you make calls to the person that was
That
to
is
sending this thing from Uganda. So we call Beth and Beth confirms once again I sent,
parcel
and this is the number, the parcel number, or this is the
Yeah, she sent us the details of the parcel.
So I think now I went back on
Thursday
evening to check once again if the parcel is there.
Yes.
And apparently there was no
There was
parcel.
no parcel. And then we started
Remember, these are the clothes for the ladies, the bride. How do you call them?
bridesmaids.
Yes, and this is Wednesday, and the wedding is on Sunday.
Now the ladies over here are waiting to try on their dresses, make adjustments, and fit in them and get used to the dresses. And I'm telling them, don't worry, the dresses are going to be here. Trying to get to terms that we can't panic at this moment. And of course, there was panic somewhere. So I told them, don't worry, your dresses will be here by Friday.
So I went there on Friday morning. And this is the news that I'm now receiving, because after going there, the guy I think was already tired of me because it's like I'm going there every other time. And then I told him I'm not leaving this place until I know where this parcel of mine is. And then the gentleman makes some calls, and then he came with some face which looked, the way somebody looks like when they want to give you bad news. They said, oh, don't add me some more bad news. Then the gentleman said, actually, that parcel was sent. The bus which had the parcel, when it arrived at the border of Uganda and Kenya, it broke down. I thought I didn't hear well. What did you say? It broke down. So I was thinking probably, fine, it might have broken down, but they have placed it on the next bus which came. So the gentleman tells me. So there is a bus. When it broke down, that they told me it broke down early morning on Friday. So when it broke down, there is a bus that was coming from Kampala, and they took the passengers who were inside the bus which had the parcel. But apparently, the parcel remained in the bus, which was repaired and went back because it could not come to Kenya empty.
So it had to go back and load with our parcel of dresses.
Remember now, this is Friday
when the ladies are supposed to be
in the morning.
Yes, when that is the day the ladies have been told they are going to try.
So I asked this gentleman, now what do you mean? I even had to tell him, the parcel had clothes for our ladies for the wedding. And then the gentleman tells me, the next bus that will be coming to Kenya will be having that parcel with it. And that meant that I should come on Friday in the evening to check, because the bus could have arrived. So I came to where you were waiting for the visitors from Uganda
Yes.
to help you and the other team in preparing. So getting there, we finish up, and then you tell me, I think you should go back and check on the dresses.
Yeah, they must be there. I was very sure they must be there.
So I left and went in the evening to check. That is now around 5, 6. And the people tell me that bus is not yet here.
Yeah, it's going to be arriving at around 8.
That
Or
bus
it's
is not
going to
here.
come at 10.
So I tried waiting. They told me come the next morning. Actually, to cut the story short of the dresses, going there on Saturday morning, the dresses were not there. I had to come to church because we had to make a few plans here, there, and also attend church service. Remember, our visitors had already arrived.
Yeah.
So I didn't have the luxury of just sitting there and waiting. So I left it to God. And I think by that time I told you the story.
No, that time I'm telling him the dresses, and he's like, "Don't worry, they are at 58. I will get them for you."
Yeah, because by this time my wife is already under pressure. And I felt like, no, I don't need to add you
This
any
is
pressure.
the time he lied to me first. Like, the dresses are at 58. I'll get them to you. The ladies will have them by.
If
by
you
the
are
end
me,
of the
what
service.
would you have done? The dresses are not yet there. It is Saturday. The wedding is tomorrow. The dresses are coming from Uganda. You know, you can't even say you will go for them and be here on time.
Eh,
So I went to church, and now you see most of the ladies who were part of our team
we're at church.
were members of our church. So they were actually at church. And now the moment they see my face, where are the dresses? And
What
I
is
tell them,
happening?
relax. It is during church service. The dresses are already here.
It's just a
Once the service is done, I will go and pick them.
pick them and get them to you.
So I kept on calling. 11 p.m. Are the dresses here? No, the bus is not yet here. 1. Are the dresses here? No, the bus is not yet here. Eventually, I went and picked them at about 6
Yeah,
in the evening.
That is when the dresses are there.
And you can imagine now, 6 in the evening.
That was a time for rehearsals for the wedding march, the bridal theme.
By the during the planning of our wedding, there are several times tulikosana, ni kama tulikosana.
Yeah. There was the very first time, that Thursday, when he went to check for the dresses and found they were not there. I think that is the time I really got pissed. I was pissed. I was feeling like.
And yet I'm not the tailor.
And he's not
I'm not the driver.
I was very bitter. Wondering, now what is this? You know? If I was at home, I would have come with them. Those were things going on through my mind. And of course,
the other time
we are going for a meeting.
Yes.
And
I remember actually you siku hata tukwa tunaongeleshana.
we were very bitter at
You know, first of all, some things are not working according to plan. And secondly, hey baby. So 1, things are not working according to plan. 2, there are some people actually who had pledged to support us in our wedding.
Of course.
And we had started factoring that into
the budget.
And things were not coming out. Just bear with us. We have our baby here, and we have to take care of him as well. So I remember that time when we were going for the meeting to meet the planning committee. Tulikuwa tumekosana. We are walking on the road but not talking to each other.
Yeah.
Because everyone is bitter, you know.
We were not, and you know, you have to go to the meeting and sit and contribute. Said to you, now, Masumba, which people have you got? Any contribution so far? You're just sleeping.
The other challenge we faced is, I remember we had booked a very good. What's up, baby? I remember we had booked a very good ground for our reception, and every service provider that we had talked to, whether it's the one providing the ground or the one providing PA system, we used to be in constant communication so that we know we are still on track.
I tell you.
Now, 2 days, is it 2 days?
Yeah, it was 2 days too.
2 days to our wedding. The
The
people who are supposed to give us ground,
grounds.
they turned down the deal because they got a better deal. I think Coca-Cola was going to do something there, and definitely that was going to be
much more
100 times of what we had to offer for the ground. And you can imagine now you have to look for plan B.
Another place.
But we thank God we got another one.
Yeah. Now the place that was also another big challenge was of course the saga of the dresses is all done, and then now that evening, Saturday evening, that we were supposed to do rehearsals, the ladies, of course, the pastor had given us a prerequisite. If you do not do these things for rehearsals, and we get to see the order, because we were changing the order of the way things were going, literally, there are things we were not going to be able to do. And then I'm thinking, okay, matching is not a big deal. That time I remember that evening it rained heavily. And then this is the time I'm supposed to be leaving where I was to come for the rehearsal. And of course, my family had come to church, stayed back, helping out.
Okay, you get the keyboard. I can see this lady who has commented here. She's called Faith Musi. And Faith Musi is saying there must be one thing in every wedding. I'm sorry for what you went through. I remember on our wedding, we discovered one kid's suit was not there. And the tailor had not woken up at 5 a.m. on the wedding day.
That can make you run.
You should tell us how that went.
Can make you run, bad. Guys, so that very day, I'm supposed to be going for the rehearsals. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to stress out. If they can't do the rehearsals without me, now you can imagine me, in my mind, I'm thinking, rehearsals are not a big deal. Like, there are no kids. We didn't have kids in the entrance. We did not have them. There were not that many that we are going to have very many kids. So we had only 2 girls and a boy and a girl. That was all. And they were not like very young girls. They are girls who had matched before they knew. So they were people that we would easily communicate with and tell them, do this, and they would do it spot on. My friend, protocol had to be protocol. And of course, I couldn't make it that time. And then I remember my husband calling me and telling me, hutaki kukucha ama ni nini? And then I'm thinking, no, it's not.
No, I didn't put it that way.
Okay, that is how it sounded to me. And is it that I do not really want to go, or isn't my situation being noticed?
You know, this what I had in mind.
Of course, I can really relate, because you had all the pressure of the ladies during the whole day, and then the dresses have come. The matrons are supposed to be helping you with whatever is not going right, and the ladies are coming back to tell you, oh, the dresses are not fitting.
By they're talking about dresses.
The dresses were literally.
Do you remember now?
A mess.
Because it was Saturday evening, the dresses. Some people are just swimming in the dresses.
Dresses were dresses. They were dresses. They were so huge that people were supposed to go and retailor them. Now, this is a time when you can't get a tailor in town at 8
on
Saturday evening. Doing what there?
Watu wameenda dunda, wengine wana prepare for church for Sunday, you know.
Guy. So the only thing that helped us is his cousin was part of the entourage, and when the aunt, now where I used to stay, saw the dress here, she was like, no, my daughter can't wear like this.
So she talked to her
personal tailor, and we sweet talked her, and she said, I'm not going to tell her that I have this other team. Let's just go. Like, let's just go and storm her tailoring place. The lady was like, oh my God. She's like, please, now what do you want us to do? Tomorrow is the wedding, and the wedding is early in the morning. What do you want us to do? Of course, she had to complain, but she complained while doing the work. And
You remember one thing before you continue. We actually had very amazing people who had decided to help us to see this wedding a success.
yeah,
And one of those had said, for me, I will give you roses. All the roses that you will need for your wedding, I
people
will
are very
provide
generous.
it.
People are very generous.
And I was thinking to myself, oh my God, what
Who
have
is
I
like
done
our
to you?
God,
What have
you
I
know?
done to you?
How are you blessing me like this? You're blessing me like a madman, you know? Like,
So these things were arriving on the ground
on Saturday.
on Saturday afternoon. And now I go on the ground. I left our visitors at church. I go on the ground. I saw the roses, my friend. I wanted to cry.
Yeah, I wasn't there. The roses had no stalks. Literally, they were petals.
Ilikuwa tu hii ya juu,
They
hii
were
ya juu.
petals. They were petals. They were not even roses. Now these are the roses we were banking on you know, doing the decoration. They ended up being the roses that were spread on the. I think God had a budget.
Everything works for
Yeah.
good because, okay, we had to plan and get now
New-
roses that
the
would
roses
work.
that would
But
work.
considering now that we had a lot of these petals,
we
we used them on the aisle.
Yeah.
I think even in the reception, they were spread
Yeah.
in very many places.
And it was very beautiful. It really, really looked beautiful. So that was the story, the saga of roses, and now coming to a flashback on now telling people on you know, we are planning to have a wedding. It is supposed to be on this day and this day.
Why does it seem like our video has gone off? Anyway, just proceed.
My oh my, it was very, very, very hard to talk to people about supporting you financially. Like, that was not something that you would walk up to people and tell them, and they take it positively. It was very, very hard for people to do so. I remember there are people that gave us comments and I felt like dying, you know, like you want to sing. The ground should swallow you that there and then. And then, you know, like, I don't know, have you ever been told, kwani kama hukuwa umejipanga, kwa nini umeamua, kwa nini umeamua uowe na hujajipanga?
Watu waliniambia maneno nikashanga. Yeah, actually this is the way they placed it. Why marry young?
And yet
you have not prepared yourself.
You've not prepared yourself to get married.
Of course, considering that we were just freshly starting life, we had not started working. We needed help from the community, from friends, from church, from family, and most people were good.
Yeah,
Most people were good, but there were many who didn't say very nice words. Unaenda kuambia mtu anakuambia sasa mimi umeona mimi ndo kuja uniongeleshe wa mwisho.
Kama kila kitu imeshafanyika.
Most would tell you tuko pamoja.
Then there are others who said, si mlikuwa mmeshafanya hiyo harusi ya Uganda? Kwa nini sasa
mnataka kufanya harusi tatu?
Mnataka kufanya harusi 10? Kwani kwani mnataka kufanya harusi 10?
Then there's another one who told me, kama imefika leo na hakuna pesa ya kutosha, that was 1 week too. Mi naona what you do, talk to your mom. Tell her to talk to your people in the village. Wakuje na mboga hivi na tukukuku wajaribu kuelekea kwa village. Alafu at least
watu wafanye
people will get what to eat, you know. Because I can tell you, I think our wedding was one of the weddings that has had the lowest budget ever. And I don't think I can regret anything that transpired.
Exactly.
Because I think God just came through for us.
Very mighty. He came out in a mighty way to show us that He is God and He can make things possible. He can make things work out, whether you have or not. Like, I wondered how a person can tell you eti kwa nini umeamua kuoa na hujajipanga, as in, okay, there are things that yes you think about them, but having them come out, I don't know whether people think of what those words would mean to the other person, but anyway, God gave us the strength to move on. Now, moving fast forward to the lessons I think we learned.
Before we even go to the lessons, I think there's some questions here. This is Miss Mutola.
How come
she speaks Swahili quite well? Samahani kwa swali langu, mimi ni mgeni hapa. Of course, she's been here for quite a while.
Yeah. 2 years.
2 years.
2 years
and she really had interest in learning Swahili.
Of course, you can't go to the market and you ask for parsley and everybody is looking at you.
I think that
like,
one of the things that encouraged her to learn the challenges she was facing in dealing with people here, because
can
most
you
people.
Imagine, by the way, the first time I went to a salon here, I was charged 2,500 Kenyan shillings for bob.
So some of the lessons we learned while planning for our wedding and even through our challenges, I think one of the biggest ones that I learned is working with what you have.
Yeah.
Of course, we all have our dream weddings.
Yeah, and our budgets set.
You'd want to have your wedding beside the ocean. You'd want to have the best orchestra playing while you walk down the aisle.
Talking about the orchestra, the people that we invited, our musician team that we invited,
some of our musicians didn't show up, but we had some very amazing musicians that were there.
Yeah,
we had Kampala Central Choir. We had my very good friend Ian, who played the violin. We had our school chorale, which came and performed. Apparently, they performed in the morning.
Yeah, only during the time.
And that was before we even got in. Yeah. They actually complained why they didn't have a lot of time, yet they felt big like the wedding was theirs.
Big hands. Yes, baby.
Say daddy. Ma. Say dad.
Yes, baby.
Mrs. Motola is saying, what? You mean they call even foreigners from Africa?
Yes.
Shame on that salonist. Yes,
I was indeed a foreigner. I felt that way. I felt the pinch. After converting it, I'm like...
So the other challenge we faced is, you see, while you are talking to people to support you, some people come in form of pledges.
Yeah.
And actually some pledges came through even from people that I had never asked.
You know?
Or requested. Somebody just said, your wedding, I'm going to offer you 2 cars and 10,000 shillings Kenya. I said, who is like my God?
Who is like Jesus?
Who is like my God?
Blessing you like a madman.
This is how this number became busy. Busy, you know, busy.
I remember there was a promise of our changing dresses. What we should wear.
Of course, we are not going to mention names. We are not here to shame anyone.
Yeah,
we just
do not mean
we want to share our experience.
And 2, we want people to learn a lesson, not to bank on things that they do not have. Yes.
Because among the people who are watching here, there are some who are not yet married. So there's one lady who said, and this one she promised actually before our wedding. She actually wanted to participate even in the traditional wedding that was in Uganda. So where is her place? This is the way she told me. Where is her place? Oh, just close to Rwanda. So it means I think I will fly to Rwanda with my husband.
We have some time there. Before the wedding.
Then
we can come in.
So just tell me how I can come in and help you. Your budget is 600,000. I think I can be able to cater for a quarter of this budget.
This is going to be.
And I think this was in her office. I said, oh, Lord, you have come today. You have not even sent in your Gabriel.
You have come yourself.
You've come yourself. You know that time I was in stress of money. Real stress. And somebody is telling me, and to say the truth, they were capable.
Yes.
And somebody tells you, without even asking, come to my office. One, I will honor your wedding, traditional wedding, with a check of half,
Or what you
a quarter of everything that you need. And two, my presence is assured I'll be there among the team that is coming from Kenya. Let me tell you, my friend, I never saw that money. Oh. I never saw it. So the point here is, don't bank
on anything that you have not yet gotten into your pocket. Don't, like, I think when after now the reality has come in, I think it was on that Thursday when we sat in our meeting, the only money that we had in cash is what we budgeted for.
And that was 195,000.
Yes, and we really thank the committee that really helped us with that, because they were very supportive and realistic.
Yes.
And so, they knew how to maximize.
Another point that is there is you need to get a very good planning team, a team that understands you where you are in terms of finances and a team that is quick
to adjust,
and they can deliver with what they have been given. Because it does not mean if you have a low budget, you should have a wedding that you will live on the whole of your life regretting, you know.
If I had this or what. But God really.
And I think on our next video we should share on how
that 195
was spent until we
really got the best out of that 195. That was the cost of our wedding, and my God, take me back.
And the other thing I think I can advise is you should find joy in every moment during the planning. Don't stress out so much, because you can't. The truth is that you cannot perform miracles. You can only work with what you have and within
God
the means that are there.
that you have. And another thing that really got me very, 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 it gave me a challenge and taught me to act otherwise when such a situation ever comes into our lives is bear with each other. Whichever the tide.
I can't stress that.
As a couple, bear with each other. You are the ones at the end of it all. Whether you stress out and get angry at each other, you have to bear with each other. Slow down. Be gentle on yourselves, because you are just a few moments away from getting into a marriage, and the marriage is just going to have more of these episodes of, ups and downs. And at that moment, I think we were in the heat of the moment where we are on, I can't talk to you at this time, I am angry, I'm pissed. But at the end, I think it didn't even go to the end of the following day. We were back to terms, and we promised not to, stress out and burn out on things that are supposed to make us happy.
Man, planning for weddings, you can even cry.
It's stressful. I cried. Yeah, I cried. I remember telling my girl, if anything comes to the worst of the worst, the person that was giving us where we were to stay had curtains that were maroon in color. So I had already come up with a plan. Like, to be honest, I was serious. I had already come up with a plan. I had actually counted them. There were 8 curtains. So how to fold them on each and every body so that each one has a piece of cloth on them. I was trying to figure out how I could maximize that.
When you said that time.
And I think I even asked for pins. I told you.
By the way, were you for real that you were going to use that?
Yes.
If the dresses were not arrived?
Yes. Because I bought pins. Like, I really bought enough pins so that I can DIY themselves, the curtains to fit the dresses. And I think I was ready to do that. Like, one of the things that I also learned is be dynamic. Do not be stuck on, this is the gown I want. This is the gown I always wished to wear. These are the shoes. take life the way it comes and enjoy the life the way it comes.
And you should be a cushion for each other.
Yeah.
When there is pressure
On
all
this
around, because
side.
there will be pressure all around, even
Exactly.
when there is money.
Exactly.
Because planning for a wedding has never been easy.
Yeah.
Even when you have a wedding planner and you have all the finances to your disposal, make sure you're a cushion to your spouse.
I remember that morning of the wedding, like the lady that was supposed to work on our hair, now the lady's hair, was part of the bridal team, but she had gotten stuck in Nairobi. So I was, my mind, because I remember I did not sleep that whole, like starting from Friday, I did not sleep that whole weekend because I was trying to figure out what if the worst comes to the worst, what can I do, you know? And I remember designing all those ladies' hair. I designed it and styled it, and things worked out, you know. My ladies were not makeup people, most of them.
Please wipe this boy's hands. He's just gotten into a sanitizer bottle.
So, like, I really learned that we can do things. Sometimes that is a lady, especially to the ladies, because we are the ones that will deal with this. Like he has said, it is easier to deal with a gentleman. Ladies will always have little issues. Of course, there are issues that we can deal with. Learn some skills before you get to that time, such that you help yourself. Because at the end of it all, it is going to be your day. They are your memories that you're going to create. So make them perfect in whichever way that you can. Like, learn a skill. If it is styling hair, if it is being creative with the little that you have. Like I remember with the hair, the only thing that I did was just do whatever I did, whichever I didn't know, style them, and then put some hairpins, and the ladies came out so beautiful.
I don't know if I had not gotten you, how life would have been.
Thank you.
Because I don't know if I would have gotten another person who would be as understanding as you. I can't stress that point more enough. Yeah. Bear with one another. Because at the end of the day, when everyone has eaten the cake, they have seen all the beautiful colors that you've put in the church, it is now you and your husband. You don't need to start your marriage with debt. If you have 100,000, work with 100,000. And
coming to that low budget wedding, if you're working on a low budget wedding, do not bank on one service provider. Yes. Friend. Do not bank on a package of one service. Yeah, because provider. You'd find someone who says, I offer tents, I offer deca, I offer maybe PA as well. In most cases, these people who offer the package, yeah, where they are offering several services, may end up being a bit expensive. And this will share more when we are talking about how we spent the 195,000 to come up with a wedding that we still remember and cherish up to today. And at the end of it all, you see, a wedding is just a day's event. After this day has elapsed, the marriage begins. It's going to begin, yeah. You know? Yeah. Why should you get to church with an helicopter and then go home and start eating salt and ugali and paying loans, you know? Paying loans, yeah. Faith is saying, I love you guys, you're so real and honest. No, we are humble. And she's saying people should concentrate, this is the point I was saying, people should concentrate on marriage more than the wedding. Yes, that is true. That is very true. That is very true. Like, by the way, at the end of our wedding, we slept like babies. We had nothing to worry about. Service provider, number this. We have not yet sorted them out. We did not have that. We had no one's debt. We had no one's debt. We were just at peace. Even as we conclude, there are things which made our journey smoother. Yeah. And one, of course, the very first one is God was on our side. That one we cannot fail to say. It is a testimony we will live to tell. When God is on your side, everything works out. Will work out. Yeah, everything works out. And if God is on your side and because of
lack of money and maybe a few difficulties here and there, you feel like some fear is coming in. There's a song which says, when fear comes knocking, let faith
Yeah.
answer the door. So, one of the greatest things is that God really came through for us in a mighty way. Two, you know,
Our friends.
when you are in times of need,
That is
like
when-
that time, that's when you can really know your friends.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that people being your friends necessarily mean for them to show it, have to give, you know,
or something.
being
More of the moral support that you need at that moment.
and being there, because
Yeah.
even with all the money, you can't plan the wedding without people,
True.
because you need people to run a few errands here and there. I can't thank my friends enough. And if I never gave my thanks to you in person, receive this as my humble way of saying thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you so much. We
We
had
really
friends who came
appreciate,
through
yeah.
for us in a very, very, very great way.
Even when some of them actually didn't make it to be there, especially those that fell out on our bridal team, they still were there with us.
Yes.
We still could feel their love. We still could feel they really wanted to be part of it, and we can't trade that for anything.
I remember we had a friend who accepted, even without being asked, to host an entire choir. You leave alone the parents first. An entire choir which came from Uganda. Yes, and we are very grateful. God bless you. You made our day. We also had a friend who accepted to host all the team from your side, Uganda. You know, that was quite another stress. And not just hosting, but also offered food throughout, you know, and everyone was comfortable. We can't thank you enough. God bless you. God bless you. And to the people who are watching and probably already married, or you are not necessarily planning to get.
And you've forgotten one that did that for the gentleman, our best couple.
Yes, yes, yes. So I was saying a point here before I forget. If you're a parent, you're a friend to someone who is planning to get married, there is a lot you can do to make this day smoother beyond just giving money. You know, anything that can make the burden lesser to
For
this
this person,
couple, please do it.
Ask them what they need help in. That is all like they need. Ask them, have you gotten this? Where can I help? Have you confirmed about the tents? Have you gotten the chairs? Is the decoration ground already set up? You know, those are things I think we can do. We don't need money to do that.
And probably finally, as we had said, one of the things that can make this journey smoother is getting to terms with what is on the ground.
Yeah.
This is the money we have. This is the number of people in terms of manpower that we have. So bearing what we have, we can only be able to achieve X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So how can we be able to navigate that and still have a wonderful day? Don't put
Accept it.
pressure on your husband to be or your wife to be and make somebody start picking loans and something like that.
Yeah.
Just be realistic.
To terms, yeah. Get to terms with it and enjoy.
Yes.
Enjoy every moment.
Yes.
Yeah, because that is the only. A wedding comes once. You know, birthdays, you can say, I will do this on my birthday. But for a wedding, it really comes once. And even when we do the anniversaries and all that celebration, they never get us in a state that we were in before we have these children coming in, you know, and things working out the way they are working out as a family. So enjoy the moment. Live to enjoy it.
So we are grateful that you are here with us all this time. It has been long. I can see it has been long. The next video we'll do in this line, we'll share a breakdown of how we spent 195,000 to get a wedding that was lovely. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're still here and you have not subscribed, please
Kindly do.
kindly just press subscribe button. I can see somebody saying work with your budget.
That
Is
is very
true.
true, yes.
That is Atieno Mtoko wa Africa. I think this must
Mtoto wa
be Mtoto wa Africa. This must be Yvonne.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure, but I think it is Yvonne.
Nice.
So thank you all for those who
For
have been
joining
watching.
and being patient up to this time. Until another time, God